a restaurant by myself last month.
Okay, how was the food?
The food was wonderful, but that is not the point. The point is that before I walked in, I stood outside for 4 full minutes.
4 minutes outside the door.
4 minutes, preparing myself, because the idea of sitting alone at a table felt uncomfortable in a way I could not fully explain.
Like people would stare?
Like everyone would look at me and think, that poor woman, nobody wanted to have dinner with her.
And did anyone think that?
Nobody looked at me even once. A waiter brought my food, I ate slowly, I looked around, I read a little, and somewhere between the first course and the second, I realized something.
What did you realize?
That I was genuinely enjoying myself, not pretending, not enduring it, actually enjoying it.
After 4 minutes of panic outside the door?
After 4 minutes of panic outside the door, yes. And that gap between the fear of being alone and the actual experience of being alone is what I want to talk about today.
Because that gap is enormous for so many people.
Enormous and very misunderstood.
Welcome to Mr. English Podcast.
Your warm, friendly, and completely real place to practice easy English every single day.
I am James.
And I am Emma. And today we are talking about enjoying your own company, why it matters, why it is hard, why it is actually important, and how to start doing it.
All in simple, clear, everyday English. So, if you are a beginner learner, you are in exactly the right place.
And if this episode feels helpful or interesting, please subscribe to Mr. English Podcast right now and share it with one friend who always needs someone around them and is not sure why.
That friend might actually be you, and that is perfectly okay.
Very perfectly okay. Let's start. James, let me ask you something. Before that restaurant experience, did you ever spend time truly alone? Not just physically alone, but choosing to be alone.
Honestly, not really. I mean, I was alone sometimes, but I always had my phone or the television on in the background or music playing.
So your body was alone, but your mind was never alone.
My mind was constantly occupied with other people's content, other people's voices, other people's stories.
And that's very common today.
Very, very common, because being truly alone without distraction feels uncomfortable for most people.
Why do you think it feels uncomfortable?
I think when you remove all the noise, all the stimulation, all the external entertainment, you're left with yourself, just you and your thoughts. And for a lot of people, that feels either boring or slightly scary.
Boring because they've been taught that alone time means nothing is happening.
Yes, like time is being wasted.
Or scary because the thoughts that come in the quiet are thoughts they've been avoiding. That one is very real. Sometimes the busyness and the noise aren't just entertainment, they're protection.
Protection from what?
From thinking about things you don't want to think about. Worries, doubts, questions about your life. When you're always busy and always distracted, those things don't get a chance to come up.
But they're still there.
They're always still there, and they tend to come up anyway, usually at 3 in the morning when you can't sleep.
3 in the morning is when all the avoided thoughts show up.
With full energy, very loudly.
So avoiding being alone doesn't actually solve anything.
It delays things, and usually makes them bigger by the time they finally arrive.
Let's talk about what being alone actually means, because I think the word alone carries a lot of baggage.
Baggage means negative associations, things people connect to a word automatically.
Yes, when most people hear alone, they think lonely.
And those are two completely different things.
Tell me the difference.
Lonely is a feeling. It's the feeling of wanting connection and not having it. You can feel lonely in a room full of people.
Really?
Yes. If you're at a party and you feel like nobody truly understands you or cares about you, that's loneliness, even with 50 people around you.
And alone is just a situation, a physical state.
Just a physical state. You are simply the only person in the space, and that can feel wonderful or terrible depending entirely on your relationship with yourself.
Your relationship with yourself. That's an interesting way to say it.
It's the most important relationship you have, and it's the one most people spend the least time developing.
Because we're taught to develop relationships with other people.
From childhood, how to make friends, how to be kind, how to communicate, how to be part of a group. But almost nobody teaches you how to be a good companion to yourself.
A good companion to yourself. I like that phrase very much.
And a companion is someone's company you enjoy, someone you feel comfortable with, someone you trust. So the goal is to become someone whose company you actually enjoy.
Yes, because if you don't enjoy your own company, how can you fully enjoy anything?
James, let me share something. I had a period in my life when I genuinely did not want to be alone.
Tell me about it.
It was after a difficult time. Some things in my life changed that I didn't choose, and suddenly there was a lot of quiet in my days that had not been there before.
And how did that feel?
Terrible at first. I filled every hour. I called everyone I knew. I said yes to every invitation. I kept the television on from morning to night.
Just to avoid the quiet.
Just to avoid it. And then, one weekend, everyone was busy, nobody was available, and I had a whole Saturday with nothing to fill it. And you were forced to just be there.
Forced to just be there. And the first 2 hours were genuinely uncomfortable. I kept reaching for my phone. I kept thinking I should be doing something.
The I should be doing something feeling.
Yes, that restless feeling, like stillness is wrong.
And then what happened?
Around midday, I went for a walk, just to do something. And I walked for about an hour without any destination.
No plan, no place to be.
No plan. And about 30 minutes in, something shifted. I started noticing things. A small garden I had walked past 100 times without seeing. A bakery I had never been into. The sound of birds that I never heard because I always had earphones in.
You started actually seeing your own world.
Yes, my world that I had been walking through without ever actually looking at it. And I went home that afternoon feeling something I had not felt in a long time.
What did you feel?
Settled. Like something inside me had sat down and stopped running.
That is a beautiful way to describe it.
And I realized I had been running from myself. And that Saturday, I finally stopped running long enough to just say hello.
That is such a real story, and I think it speaks to something very important. Enjoying your own company is not something that just happens. It is something you practice.
Like a skill?
Very much like a skill. And like any skill, it is uncomfortable at the beginning.
And then it gets easier.
And then it becomes something you actually want, something you look forward to.
And why does it matter so much? Why is this skill important?
Okay, first reason, and this is the most fundamental one. When you enjoy your own company, you stop needing people to make you feel okay.
And that changes everything about your relationships.
Everything. Because when you need people to fill you up, you come to relationships from a place of emptiness. You need something from the other person.
And that can become heavy for the other person.
Very heavy. And it can also make you accept relationships that are not good for you, simply because you're afraid of being alone.
So you stay in friendships or situations that aren't healthy because the alternative, being alone, feels worse.
And that pattern affects so many people's lives in very serious ways.
But when you're comfortable alone?
When you're comfortable alone, you come to relationships from a full place. You're not looking for someone to complete you. You're looking for someone to enjoy life with.
That is a completely different energy.
Completely different. And people feel it. Good, healthy people are attracted to people who are comfortable with themselves because it's a sign of stability.
Stability means you're steady, not chaotic, not desperate.
And stable people make better friends, better partners, better colleagues.
So learning to enjoy your own company actually improves all your other relationships.
Indirectly, but powerfully, yes.
What's the second reason it matters?
Self-knowledge.
Knowing yourself.
Yes, and this sounds simple, but it's actually quite rare. Most people do not know themselves very well.
Why not?
Because they've never been quiet enough to listen. When you're always busy, always surrounded by other people, always consuming content, you never hear your own thoughts clearly.
You never know what you actually think, what you actually want, what actually makes you happy.
And you end up living a life that was designed by other people's opinions and expectations, not by your own real preferences.
That's a strong idea.
It's a very common situation. People who have never spent real time alone often discover, quite late in life, that many of their choices were based on what other people expected, not on what they genuinely wanted.
And quiet time alone is where you discover what you actually want.
Slowly. It doesn't happen all at once, but over time, in the quiet, you start to hear yourself more clearly.
And that clarity affects every decision you make.
Every single one. What job you want, what kind of life you want, what kind of people you want around you.
Self-knowledge is the foundation of good decisions.
And good decisions are the foundation of a life you actually like.
Third reason it matters, and this one is practical.
Go ahead.
First reason, when you're comfortable alone, you can rest properly.
Oh, yes. Real rest.
Because a lot of people can't rest. They sit down to relax and immediately feel guilty, or bored, or restless.
Because rest without distraction feels empty to them.
But rest is essential. Your brain and your body need real rest. Not just sleep, but quiet, unstimulated time during the day.
And if you can't tolerate being alone and quiet, you can't access that rest.
So you go through life permanently slightly tired.
Permanently slightly tired and overstimulated, taking in enormous amounts of content and noise every day without ever fully processing it.
Like a phone that is constantly running apps and never fully charging.
Yes, exactly like that. You run, and the battery drops lower and lower.
And then you wonder why you feel so drained.
Because you never gave yourself a real recharge. And a real recharge requires quiet. And quiet requires being comfortable with yourself. It all connects back to the same thing. James, let us talk about why people specifically struggle with this, because understanding why helps with fixing it.
Yes. Why do so many people find being alone uncomfortable?
First reason, society tells us that being alone is a problem.
Meaning,
Think about the language we use. She is always alone, said with pity. He has no one, said with concern. Are you going by yourself? Said with surprise, like it is unusual or sad.
so being alone is framed as something that happened to you, not something you chose.
Exactly. The cultural story around being alone is usually about failure or rejection. Like if you had enough friends, enough love, enough value, you would not be alone.
And that story makes people afraid of aloneness, even when aloneness is actually a choice and a good one.
And they perform busyness. They make themselves look occupied and surrounded, even when they do not need to be.
Just to avoid the judgment of appearing alone.
And the judgment they are most afraid of is usually their own.
Surprised. Their own judgment?
Yes, they have internalized the story. They have taken it inside. So even when no one is watching, they feel uncomfortable being alone because they are judging themselves.
So, what is wrong with me that I have a free Saturday?
Why am I not out somewhere with someone, even when staying home and being quiet is exactly what they need?
So the first thing to change is the story, the meaning we give to being alone.
From something is wrong with me to I am choosing this and it is good.
Second reason people struggle. They don't know what to do with themselves.
This is very practical and very real.
Like, okay, I am alone.
now what?
Because all their activities are designed for groups. Going out requires others. Watching a movie is better with someone. Eating feels strange alone.
So they have never developed activities and habits that work for one person.
And discovering them takes time and experimentation. And some people give up before they find what works.
What worked for you, Emma, when you started spending more time alone?
Walking was the first thing. Just walking without a destination, because walking alone is comfortable for most people, and it gives you something to do while you get used to being in your own company.
Movement helps.
Movement helps a lot. Then I started reading more, physical books, not on my phone, because a book gives your mind something to engage with without being addictive like a phone.
So it occupies you gently without swallowing you.
Gently, yes. Then I started cooking properly. When you cook for yourself, you invest time and care into your own experience, and that feels good.
You're treating yourself like someone worth cooking for.
That's exactly it. And that's a bigger deal than it sounds.
Why?
Because a lot of people who aren't comfortable alone don't treat themselves well when there's no one watching. They eat badly, they skip rest, they let the apartment get messy, as if they only deserve care when other people can see it.
So being alone and treating yourself well is an act of self-respect.
A very quiet but very powerful act of self-respect.
Let me give some practical ideas for people who want to start, because I think people need specific things, not just general advice.
Yes, real doable things.
First one, start with short solo activities in public.
Like your restaurant experience.
Yes, or a coffee shop alone, or a walk in a park alone, or a bookshop.
Why public?
Because public places give you something to observe. You're alone, but surrounded by the gentle activity of other people, and that makes the transition to being alone feel softer.
You're not in total silence. You're in your own bubble within a gentle world.
And 20 minutes in a coffee shop with a book or just your thoughts is a perfect starting point.
No phone or minimal phone.
Minimal phone is important because the phone is the escape from yourself that you're trying to gently reduce.
Second idea, create a small solo ritual.
Ritual means a regular, repeated activity that has a special feeling to it.
Yes, for me, Sunday mornings became my ritual. I make coffee slowly, I sit by the window, I don't check my phone for the first 30 minutes.
And that became something you look forward to?
I protect it now. I genuinely look forward to it all week. That quiet Sunday morning coffee is one of my favorite experiences.
And a year ago, you would have found it uncomfortable.
A year ago, I would have immediately turned on the television because 30 minutes of quiet would have felt like too much.
So it genuinely changes over time.
It really does. What feels uncomfortable at the beginning becomes something you treasure.
Third idea, notice your thoughts without immediately reacting to them.
This is a deeper one.
Yes, when you're alone and quiet, thoughts come. Some of them are uncomfortable. Old worries, old memories, questions you've been avoiding.
And the automatic response is to reach for the phone or turn on the television or call someone.
But what if you just let the thought be there without acting on it immediately?
Just observe it like you are watching a cloud pass.
Yes, not every thought needs action. Not every uncomfortable thought is an emergency.
And when you learn to sit with uncomfortable thoughts without immediately escaping them, they lose their power over you.
Because you realize you can feel something difficult and be okay.
And that is one of the most important things a person can know about themselves. I can handle being alone with my own mind.
That knowledge is freedom.
Complete freedom, because you are no longer running.
Fourth idea, do something creative alone.
Yes, and creative does not mean you have to be an artist.
What do you mean?
Creative means making something, writing in a journal, drawing, even badly, cooking something new, rearranging your space, planting something, making music even if it is just humming.
Any act of making.
Any act of making, because when you create something alone, you engage with yourself in a very direct way. You are expressing something from inside you, and that builds a relationship with yourself.
You start to know what you think and feel through the process of making.
And it feels productive, so the "I am wasting time" feeling disappears.
Because you made something, even something small.
Something that was not there before, and you made it entirely on your own terms, for yourself, without anyone's input or approval.
And that is quietly powerful.
Very quietly powerful.
Emma, I want to come back to something important.
because I do not want people to hear this episode and think we are saying avoid other people,
Oh, absolutely not.
because that would be the completely wrong message.
The goal is not to become someone who prefers being alone to everything else. That has its own challenges.
The goal is balance.
Yes, being comfortable with people and comfortable with yourself, choosing when you want connection and choosing when you want solitude, and both choices coming from a place of genuine preference, not fear.
Not staying home because you are afraid of people and not going out because you are afraid of yourself.
Real freedom is having both options and choosing between them freely.
And the person who can do both, who can enjoy a rich social life and also enjoy a quiet Saturday afternoon alone, that person has a kind of inner balance that is very rare,
And very beautiful.
and very peaceful.
Peace is actually the word. People who enjoy their own company tend to be peaceful because they're not chasing something, not running from something.
They are okay with where they are and who they are.
And that's not a small thing.
That is one of the most important things a person can achieve. Let me say the main ideas simply before we finish.
Please, clear and simple.
What is enjoying your own company? It is being comfortable and even genuinely happy spending time with just yourself, without needing constant entertainment or other people to feel okay.
And alone does not mean lonely. They're completely different. Lonely is a feeling. Alone is just a situation.
Why does it matter? Because it improves every other relationship you have, because it builds self-knowledge, because it allows you to rest properly, and because it gives you freedom, real freedom, to make choices based on what you actually want.
Not based on fear of being by yourself.
How do you start? Short solo activities in public places. A small, regular ritual that is yours alone. Sitting with your thoughts without immediately escaping them. And creating something, anything, just for yourself.
And remember that it's uncomfortable at first, and that discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong.
It is a sign that you are learning something new.
And like all new things, it gets easier, and then it gets good.
And then it gets genuinely wonderful.
Okay, English learners, that's our episode for today, and we hope it felt like a warm, honest, real conversation in easy English.
Because this topic deserved honesty, and you deserved a real conversation about it.
If this episode helped you or made you think about something differently, please subscribe to Mr. English Podcast right now.
We are here every episode with real conversations about real things that matter, in simple, clear English for you.
And please share this episode with one person who you think needs to hear it today.
Maybe someone who was always busy, always surrounded by noise, and never truly still.
Maybe they just need someone to tell them that quiet is okay, that being alone is okay.
That they are worth spending time with.
And we really want to hear from you. Please leave us a comment. Tell us, are you comfortable being alone, or does it feel uncomfortable? When did you last truly spend time with just yourself?
Or tell us about one thing you enjoy doing alone, one activity that is yours. We genuinely want to know.
Because every comment you leave helps build this community we're growing together. And community, funnily enough, is better when everyone in it has also learned to be okay on their own. The most independent community.
The healthiest kind. Your words in English, any length, any level, are always welcome here.
Always and completely.
So until next time, remember this.
You are the one person who will be with you for your entire life.
Every morning, every quiet evening, every ordinary Tuesday.
So it is worth getting to know that person well.
It is worth learning to enjoy their company.
Because once you do, you are never truly alone in the difficult way.
You are just with yourself, and that is enough.
More than enough. See you in the next episode, English learners.
Take care of yourselves. We mean that. Bye for now.